welcome to another episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer. I'm joined by Melissa Belzer, my ex-girlfriend. We are road tripping. This time we are going from Iowa to Arizona, and we are in New Mexico. Another end state. We're in an end state.
Yeah.
We're in Nebraska. Not Nebraska. New Mexico. We're in New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yes. Heading to Albuquerque, and then we will turn on the 40 and be bored for like 8 hours on the 40. Well, because it's just one long straight drive.
This is semi-boring.
Well, we saw some cool mountains. Yeah. There are some cool mountains in the distance.
Yeah, but we can't face this way while we drive.
No, you can't. We do still have the choo-choo tracks right up beside us.
Yeah.
Since this is road trip edition, episode blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know where we're at.
I don't know.
Melissa is going to do a deck by Best Self deck.
Yep.
This one is what one? Intimacy. Ooh la la.
Oh, yeah, I know.
She's switching decks. She was getting a little bored of the other ones. For some reason, it started looking like we were repeating cards, which we were pulling new cards. So that's weird. It's supposed to be all original topics. But anywho,
I think they repeated them too much. But whatever.
Oh yeah, and before this, we did have where I was on a phone call with a client. It was funny because since we're doing slang in another episode, and one of the words was groovy.
She used groovy.
She used groovy. So that was kind of cool. So shout out to Lisa for using the word groovy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Because we're like, hey, we just covered that one.
Yeah.
All right. So we're intimacy deck. Remember it says on the cards.
That's right.
So you just grab wherever. Red wine. What's
Intimacy.
Red? Intimacy. Who knew?
What kind of power dynamics excite you? I don't even know what that means.
What kind of power dynamics excite you? I
don't even know what that means.
I don't either. Ask Siri.
I don't know that Siri's going to have.
Well, let's see. Siri seems to know everything. We're going to ask Siri because I don't really know what the context they want us to have for that one. Hold, please. Hold, please. You're sidetracked.
Yeah, no, okay. Hold on, because I had to answer something. I guess my thing is going into my phone calls are going to Alexa.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
That's weird.
Anyway.
Gotta love tech when it decides to be ornery. Which is funny because before we left, you couldn't get Alexa to connect in our bedroom so we could spy on our kitty cat. Yet,
no, is that dumb? I like to spy on her. She's so cool.
Well, and she'll actually come up and like stare at the camera and stuff.
Yeah, she'll come up and sit sometimes. Okay. Hey Siri. Oh, it's on the thing. I'll do it that way. What's an example of a power dynamic? Go.
And the answer is...
Example would be a manager who can give a poor performance review to a team member.
Oh, well, that would be...
There are many different power dynamic examples, but three most important are formal authority, charisma, and expert power.
So they want to know which one would be our favorite?
Well, that's an example of it.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Demand withdrawal.
Huh?
There's an example. Demand withdrawal, distancer / pursuer, and fear/shame are three common power dynamics.
Why would I want any of those?
I don't know. Examples of this gives a different list.
What does this have to do
Power
with...
dynamic in an intimate relationship can include how much time couples spends together, managing finances, interactions with family and friends. Okay, so maybe it's the roles.
Okay, so if I wanted to pick a power dynamic that I would like in a friend environment with our spouses, I like that we don't speak negative about each other.
Yeah.
I think we build each other up.
Yeah.
Normally it's more in a whimsical, comical way.
See, it's funny because we have inside jokes that if a person heard them and didn't know the inside joke, they'd be like, "Did you hear it?" Did you hear what they just said? It's like a total inside joke, and we find it hilarious.
Well, yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning where I said you're my ex-girlfriend. I've introduced you that way in public to people that randomly.
And they're like,
to us, it's funny.
what?
So I guess our, I don't even know if it's a power dynamic, but ours is comedy.
It is. Well, it's like when you come to me and you're like, hurry the crap up.
No,
But
that's
it
what I
doesn't
say.
come out that way. Yeah.
I say, no offense, but hurry the fuck up.
Because people just, because it's funny when we hear people go, no offense, but
Yeah, and that's why
it's
I say
offensive.
Well, because here's the thing: is in society will tell you that as long as you say that,
No offense.
as long as you say no offense, then you can follow it up with anything bad you want to say because, well, you didn't mean any offense. It's like that fake apology people give. If I offended anybody, I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you didn't apologize.
Right.
That's not an apology.
So I do say
An apology is, I'm sorry. That's it. That's an apology. 2 words. That's a complete sentence. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, if I offended you, I'm sorry. It's like, okay, wait. So you're saying that if I wasn't
might not
offended,
have,
that this is
you're not
okay?
sorry?
This is okay to say to anybody else out there in the world
No.
if they're not offended to it. But with you, okay, I'm sorry. That's why it's a fake apology.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's just funny.
Okay, give me another one.
Okay. About you. What was your biggest culture shock?
At what stage of my life?
It didn't say. But if this is supposed to be, get it wrong, whatever. I don't.
Well, I mean,
New York was a little bit of a culture shock.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you travel, I
It was
mean,
different.
it can be just because of that. I would say growing up, because well, you lived all over, but I lived between Wapello, Iowa, in the summers, and then in the rest of the year in Morden, Illinois, and both were like not diverse. I guess
Right.
it's the nicest way to say
Yeah.
it. Well,
Yeah.
the easiest way to say it. It's
Yeah.
not nice, not whatever. It's just how the dynamics work.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a racist situation or anything like that.
No.
It's just, that's how it was. So leaving there and going anywhere and seeing somebody of a different race, just different ethnicity, different foods
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
It's that was kind of like, it is initially a culture shock, but you
It's
just,
common there.
well, it was like even something as simple like the first time you go and get like real Chinese food.
Yeah.
We didn't have Chinese food growing up. We legit grew up like most people. Well, not most people, but most of our family grew up on home cooked, farm style meals and pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. You know what kind of foods and stuff that we grew up on. You know, what'd be funny is if this is a car that passed me earlier.
I think it is.
No, it's not. But it would have been.
Yeah.
Because you remember that Charger that...
Yeah, he's being a total jerk.
Yeah. So where we're driving, the Charger came riding right up on my ass. And I'm in this slow lane. And they came riding right up on my ass. And then they passed me. The other lane was open. I'm riding in this slow lane. Because Colorado has signs up that said, unless you're passing, you have to stay in the right lane.
It makes traffic easy.
Yeah, and I'm like, and honestly, I don't care.
Right.
So, yeah, again, another hill I am not dying on.
Yeah.
So what was that question again?
You already answered it.
I did? Did you answer it?
No. Because you're busy telling your
Okay, well, read
answer.
the question again so you
What
can
was
remind the
your
audience.
biggest culture shock? For me, it was going to New York. I mean, I knew it would be different, but just seeing how the people were and going to Times Square, that alone was a culture shock to me. I was like, whoa. That was a lot. Like, I was expecting to like it, and in that particular instance, because we had our children with me, I was sort of in panic mode. I'm like, Kevin, you have to get me out of here. You you have to get us out of here. Pick a spot and get us out of here.
Where was that?
There was Times Square.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I can't even handle this right now with our children being in here.
Well,
I was overwhelmed.
Yes. No.
For me.
And rightfully so, because
There were people wearing latex,
yeah, but
and I was like, no, I have little kids.
It was crossing morality issues with us.
And that's whatever. And so he did. He got us
because
into...
they weren't technically naked,
No, but
because they were completely body painted, but it just seems weird.
There's just all the spectacles.
And then they're kind of rude and everything, because it's like, okay, well, you're looking like that, and they're like, if you're gonna look, you got to pay for a picture and all that kind of stuff.
Get me
and
out of
we're
here.
like trying to get our children who are entering those years of their life where the hormones kick in, just to move along, so we can go to the Swatch Watch shop.
Yeah, we ducked into the Swatch shop, and then he went out and looked and scoped it for the next 2 or 3 spots.
We can go this way.
So I went to the M&M store, and there was it might have been a candy store, unless I'm thinking of the M&M store.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 other stores that were safe. Lego. Was it Lego?
Was Lego there? No, Lego was off of
Nintendo,
Rockefeller.
was it? No, Nintendo was first.
Lego's was over by Rockefeller.
Okay,
Center.
well, I don't know. I just remember M&M store
That
for
was
sure.
a different day.
Yeah, okay. I remember it was Swatch and then M&M's. I don't remember past that. But I was like, you gotta find a way out of here.
We were looking for some place to eat, but we eventually went elsewhere.
Because it was just too much. So
yeah, we went off to the other streets, because the cool thing about New York is there's a pizza place like on every block.
Yeah.
At least there was where we were.
Starbucks.
We were in Manhattan.
Too.
Yeah.
So that part was...
I would say that...
You saved the day.
I like the attitude of people there. I didn't have,
generally okay.
No, I didn't have a problem with it. But I think part of it was because I was used to it, because it was like Chicago with a different accent. Because it's very like... To me, I don't take it as rude. It was very like, what do you want? Okay, here it is. All right, next. It was very much like that.
Straightforward.
And I don't have a problem with that. And that's kind of like Chicago's very fast paced. But I will say this, like for a culture shock thing, when we went from all those years of me working in Chicago, then going to Phoenix, it was a culture shock from the standpoint of everything slowed down, because Phoenix is a vacation place. So it runs
time.
On island time.
It still does for us.
Yeah.
I even sense that.
But I'm
go to
fine with
places.
it now. But initially, I was like, I want my effing food. Where's my effing food? Whereas like if you're Chicago, New York, it's quick. You come in, want a slice of pizza, whatever. You just get it, you're gone. And I was like, really? Like, it just runs really slow that way. So it was an adjustment from that standpoint initially. So, but we got used to it. So I'd say that'd be a good example.
I actually like it.
Yeah.
It's much more relaxed.
Wow, time flew yet again. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Like share, comment, leave feedback, review, subscribe. Go to dazzleswag.com for all your swag needs. Until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult I know you all can be.